today in lovely downtown Ottawa, the tropical Byward Market. It's 40 below, and we're just here to ask people what they think of the government's decision to vote on the anti-terrorism bill and whether certain provisions should be extended. Right now we're just going to ask anybody walking by and hapless enough to be caught in our path whether they think it's a good idea that the government should be allowed to arrest people without charge and detain them indefinitely. So here we go. So this week in the House of Commons, they're voting on extending the Anti-Terrorism Act, and one of the bills up for revision is whether the government should be allowed to detain people without charge indefinitely. And what do you think about that?
I don't think they should do that. Actually, isn't it against the human rights to do that?
Well, they've kind of worked around the Constitution and the Charter rights with this bill, so that's whether security outweighs freedom. What are your opinions on that?
Yeah, that sounds a bit like what the Americans are trying to do with the torture thing, where they wanted to pass a law where they could torture people, so...
You're against it, or are you for it?
I'm against it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In my opinion, absolutely. This has been a problem over the years, definitely with whole the U.S. Going into Afghanistan and whatnot. I really think that there is a need for Canada to step up to the plate. Like they can't just back down all the time. And I think that there's a lot of controversy right now in Canada itself. From what I hear, I have a really good friend who's a police officer. He's been researching the FLQ recently, and I mean, we've got the Chinese mafia, we've got the Italian mafia, we've got Bloods, Crips, we've got Hells Angels, we've got all the biker gangs involved.
Absolutely not. Should be lapsed.
Why is that, sir?
I don't know. I just think it goes contrary to our democratic system and our system of justice in Canada, and I think it gives too much power to the authorities to detain people against their will.
And this needs to stop soon. And I mean, before you know it, we're going to have buildings blowing up here, we're going to have people killed, and that's not cool. And seriously, if we want to save country, it's time for Canada to really step up to the plates. And I'm really concerned with our government right now. They're not addressing the real issues. They're so concerned with the gun registry, they're so concerned with these marijuana laws, they're so concerned with the gay homosexual marriage issue. They really need to step it up and get onto this terrorist thing. This is definitely something that's happening in our day. If we want this world to change, if we want to see good, we want peace in this world, this has to change right now.
I don't think people should be detained without charging, because it's kind of like human rights are very strongly felt within Canada. But I do believe that there are some provisions that should be made because we have to guard against terrorism. I wish I could make some good, valuable suggestions, but I can't. I'm hoping that they can discuss different options and bring them in front of the board and then make those decisions from that.
So you'd like to see a discussion in the House of Commons on reworking laws, then?
Yes, on possible options that would maintain human rights but still control the threat of terrorism.
And I mean, Harper's definitely got to step it up. He can't just sit back and watch this just pass by. I mean, these people are concerned. We've got, in our country, we have way too many immigrants coming into our country. They are, getting money from the government monthly. And basically what they are doing is organizing these terrorist cells, and that's not cool. I mean, we're going to be in deep, deep trouble if we don't address this situation real soon.
I am not Canadian. Does that matter? The answer is no. I don't think the government should have that right. I think the right of habeas corpus is very important.
Basically, that's my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of people who would agree with me. There's a lot of people who would be against me. I mean, once we start allowing all these religions to, have their rights of freedom, have their freedom of choice, that's when we go wrong. We can't do that.
Do you think the government should have the right to detain people indefinitely without charge?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
And why is that, sir?
Because it's lack of proof, lack of evidence. I think it's pointless to invade people's privacy like that.
This country was born on God. This country was born in a Christian society. I mean, now we've lost all of that. We've lost all we believe. We've lost everything. So, you know what? Yeah, we got to step up. We can't let this back down like this.
If you thought the government should have the right to detain people without charge indefinitely?
No, I don't.
Why is that, sir?
I think it violates basic human rights.
They shouldn't do that. That is undemocratic, and I think this practice should be cut short.
So you're against it, sir?
Yes, I am against that. Yeah, we should have our democratic rights exercised more efficiently than that. Sure, thank you.
One of the bills which says the government should be allowed to detain people indefinitely without charge, do you think that should be allowed, or should they let that one lapse?
Well, I don't know. I think they got to do something with those type of things. I don't know. I don't know if they should be able to keep them that long or whatever it is they do, but got to do something.
Well, that would kind of violate our human rights as people, wouldn't it? Like, you can't just arrest somebody with no connection to anything.
I don't know the answer. That's why I'm asking.
Well, that wouldn't be fair to them just because they're just because they fit a certain profile. That wouldn't be fair to discriminate them and put them in a cage, so to speak.
Not so to speak, very literally.
But like if there are some suspicion that they are connected, they should be investigated and watched, but not put in jail. Like, that just wouldn't be fair.
Oh no, same reason. Like Canada, no, we have no discrimination against anybody. Really, like, we have like human rights here all over Canada, and we shouldn't be just discriminating just because of what they look like or whatever. But again, looking into them and seeing their background and where they came from, and do a little more investigation through that way. Then that would be a little more, and then you can put them in jail eventually. But nothing like but nothing towards it. The minute you see them, they don't think right away they're into terrorism or anything like that. I think we're pretty safe here still.
But what I think, like our law, like when I was younger, much younger, I had my brush with the law, but I do feel like Canada really treats well, I wouldn't say criminals, but suspected people. It's they say it's like guilty until proven it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. It's much more like guilty until proven innocent, because they really, it was something stupid I had when I was a kid, and they really treat you really like they make you feel like almost you really did do something even though you didn't. So that's what I don't know. I don't agree with that, and I'm sure that's what they're debating is, like you said, they're arresting them without any proof, and that's not fair because they're really treating people unfairly, and I can speak firsthand.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. No problem. Have a good one. What do you guys think about that?
Can you elaborate on anti-terrorism bill?
The anti-terrorism bill is one of the bills passed after the September 11th attack to give the federal agencies a little more power to detain people and go into your house and that kind of thing. So some of these bills are now lapsing, and they're debating whether they should re-allow them. The question we're asking is, do you think these bills are still necessary, or are we a little safer now?
I think we're a little safer. I don't think they should tap the lines anymore, especially private lines.
I have the same opinion.
And what do you think about the bill to arrest people and hold them indefinitely without charge?
Yeah, that I don't agree with either.
Same.
Thanks, guys.